So the big question is this: how are people like us, who didn't take on venture capital, who are spending money from our own pocket, just trying to be a laundromat entrepreneur, how do we market in a way that lets us get our services and our products and the things we believe in out to the public, and yet still remain profitable? This is the question. And in this podcast, I will answer that. My name is Victor Nichols, and welcome to the Laundromat Secrets.
Hey guys, how's it going today? I just got done getting a haircut. Can't really tell if you're watching this video because I'm wearing a hat, as obviously. But I wanted to go over a couple subjects of finding your own laundromat. A lot of questions I'm getting online is, hey Victor, how do you go out and find your laundromats? How did you find your laundromats? So mine's a little bit of a different story, but it's wrote in the book and a couple other videos I have. But the biggest part is you have to know where all your laundromats are before you can actually find a laundromat. I mean, you're in a small town or a big city where there's a whole bunch of laundromats. Small town, there's really no laundromats, or there could be like one laundromat. So a lot of people are having difficulties of, well, what are you looking for? How did you scout out your laundromats and stuff like that? So what I did was I pulled up Google, typed in local laundromats, and a whole bunch of laundromats popped up. Obviously, took a pen and paper. I started writing down, okay, Spinky's laundromat, such and such address. Just started scribbling down all these different laundromats and the addresses and where they're located at. And then when I got all that done, it'll be like 1-2 sheets. I'll go off and I'll type in laundromats for sale. And sometimes you might find laundromats for sale, sometimes you might not. So don't get discouraged or anything like that. But it shows up pretty much for the entire state. So you have to go through and scroll through and see which one's the closest one to you. And start writing down where it's at, how much it is. If there's pictures, you're going to take the pictures from the for sale site, because sometimes they may not even have the address, but they'll have pictures of the laundromat. So you take the pictures of the laundromat and you go back to the listing that you found on Google of where all the laundromats are. Because usually if you have a business listing, it's going to have pictures of your laundromat, maybe the inside, maybe the outside, and you just combine the pictures and you say, oh, okay, this is the laundromat that was for sale. They're asking this much. And then once you get all that information, you got to go check it out. So like an example is the Chicago Heights store. It wasn't for sale. It wasn't posted up for sale or anything like that. It was just kind of sitting there empty. There's no signs up front that said, hey, this place is for rent or anything like that. I actually went out and was checking out different laundromats, and I came across them. I'm like, hey man, this is kind of sitting empty. So I'm like peeking in through the windows and taking some screenshots from my phone of the laundromat. And then it's all like, okay, well then I went to the Curse Exchange that was next door. They didn't know who the landlord was, because I guess the building foreclosed and the bank had it, and it was a different property manager and stuff like that. It was a nightmare trying to find out who actually was in charge and who to contact. Eventually I went to I think it was a beauty store where they sold beauty supplies and knickknacks and stuff like that. And a little foreign guy was in there, and he was like, oh yeah. He's like, I know the landlord, I'll show you around. I'm like, okay, definitely, I'm going to check the place out. So we went in there and I'm looking around. I'm like, oh my God, the floor is like destroyed. The machines look pretty old. There's fire damage in the back. And there was no proper ventilation in the back. And I got pictures and stuff that I posted in the other videos I have if you're watching YouTube. But the guy decided to drill holes in the ductwork, so all the lit was just blowing in the back. And then I guess eventually it just got something must have sparked in the breaker box, and that's where it caught on fire, and it just kind of glazed the back of the laundromat behind the dryers. And that's where the fire started, and they closed down. The guy must have just took the insurance and left. But I'm like, all right, I'm kind of interested in this place. Who's the landlord? I want to contact him, stuff. He's like, no, you deal with me. I'm like, what do you mean I deal with you? Okay, well then, do I just give you the LOI and stuff, and we move forward on trying to get this place? He's like, no. He's like, the landlord wants $50,000. I'm like, $50,000? I'm like, for this place? What am I buying? Well, you buying the business. I'm like, the business is closed. Well, the machines are worth the money. And I'm like, the machines are pretty old. And I'm like, are you guaranteeing that they work? Do they even work? Oh, yeah, they all work. I'm like, there's no power. How am I supposed to turn this place on? It's at $50,000. We got other people lined up. I'm like, you got other people lined up. I'm like, okay. give me your information, I'll get back with you. So I'm like going home, like, man, where in the world am I going to get the money, $50,000 to take over this laundromat? I'm like, I'd be lucky if I even got $2,000 in my pocket. So I started creating a business plan and talking to people, seeing if I can find investors. I couldn't find $50,000. The bank was not even going to give me a $50,000 loan. But so I kind of gave up on it. I got depressed, and I'm like, all right, I'm not going to find this place. I'm like, this laundromat business is hard to get into unless you got money up front. So after about a year, I got sidetracked doing other stuff, and I came back, and I'm like, I'm really curious who bought that laundromat. He said he had other people that was interested. So I drove back up there, just want to see who it was, and the place is still empty. And I'm like, really? I'm like, well, I'm not obviously going to go talk to that one guy again because he's trying to get money. Let me see if I can find the landlord directly and contact them. So I'm going to the different businesses in the strip mall, and then finally I went into the barber shop. And the barber shop gave me a business card to one of the property managers. I'm like, sweet. So I'm driving home, and I'm all like, I call up the property manager, and it goes to voicemail. I'm like, oh, come on. And the guy calls me back, and he's like, oh, yeah. He's like, I used to be in charge of the property, but it's not me anymore. It's someone else. And he's like, I'm shocked they didn't give the business cards to the owners. I'm like, all right, could you take my number and have him contact me? So eventually the guy called me back, and we started negotiating for the laundromat. He wanted $50,000 too, and I'm like, what are you guys trying to do? Well, later on what I found out is they're just trying to make a quick buck on the side behind the landlord's back. What they don't know won't hurt them, I guess. But eventually we negotiated, and I got the laundromat for nothing. So, I mean, I stepped in and got the $50,000 wiped away. So that's where negotiations come in handy. But none of that would have happened if I didn't do my research first. So you have to do your research first. Google, Bing, Yahoo, whatever search engine that you like, you have to jump on it and just check out your local laundromats first. Type in local laundromats and write all that information down. Then type in laundromats for sale, and that's going to pop up too. Brokers, stay away from brokers. If you do talk to brokers, don't sign any paperwork for them, because what brokers are about, they're about making money. So if they screw you in the long run just to sell the place so that they can make money and the owner makes money, that's what they're going to do. So, but they usually don't want to give you any information about the property unless you sign a piece of paper. Then they'll show you the place. So stay away from brokers. Maybe distributors. Distributors will definitely help you and get you information and stuff like that. But that is how you actually go out and look for laundromats. That's how I look for laundromats. The next step would actually be scouting. My next video will be about scouting. So if you actually like this video and this podcast, definitely hit the like button, share it, leave some comments, and let me know what you guys think. On that, you guys have a good day.